Welcome back then to Squad Quarters, and today we've got the review of the GEPRC Darkstar16. And for all you guys who are regular viewers to the channel, you would have seen that I've put shorts up of this over the past couple of days. I've put a couple of first impression videos, and also up here somewhere, yeah, up there, should be a video showing you how to set this up in Betaflight and get yourselves in the air. So what this is going to be is purely a review as to what we actually think of this, how well it flies, and just a discussion about what it's all about, really. So grab yourself some popcorn, grab yourself a soft drink, or even a hard drink. I don't really care, but settle down, because for the next 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to see exactly what this can do, exactly what makes it good, and exactly what doesn't make it good, if we can find anything. I'm not sure we can, but we'll try. Let's go.
Now I'm going up here because it's a decent distance away from where I am, and we're using the low profile antennas, and there's also a lot of trees and it's been raining. So if we're going to have any issues with these low profile antennas, it's going to be here. And so far so good. We're still locked at 60 megabits per second. So for those who are wondering, these low profile antennas, are they any good? Should I switch to the 04 Pro standard ones? I'm seeing no issues. That's a relatively good distance for something like this. And obviously, somebody like me has to keep it within VLOS. Obviously, I can't be advocating breaking any laws. But certainly, going so far and having trees in between me answers the questions that you guys have had of, are these antennas any good, or should I use the original DJI 04 Pro ones? But in all honesty, I don't think you're going to have any problems at all. And again, we can scoot, coming back to us couple of trees blocking the way. We're nice and low to the ground, and we're still locked at 60 megabits per second. So yeah, don't think anybody's going to have too much of a problem with these. You're not going to go too far away with this drone, because you are going to be limited to how far you can go because of the size of the battery and the size of the props. This is for more sort of prox flying. Got a gentleman in front of us, I probably won't hit that tree again. Thank you, spotter. But yeah, it's more for sort of close to your prox flying. So realistically, I'd be very surprised if anybody's got an issue with them. Now you could add the 04 Pro standard ones back, they do come with it, which is a nice little touch from GEPRC. However, once you add on the weight and the unbalancedness, this flies really, really well as it is. So to be honest, probably wouldn't bother. If you're finding you're having performance issues, then by all means you can do so. But if you're not having any issues, if it ain't broke, don't change it. Right, guess I better go. Yeah, this is great. This is so much fun. Right, peace out.
Just moving quickly on to a community spotlight segment. I'm not going to put anybody's comment up on this one. I just want to say, if you're leaving comments asking me questions, asking me how do I do this, or can you do this with the drone, I've started doing a new thing now. You guys are, in my opinion, the most important thing on this channel, and I want to prioritize you guys. So if you leave a comment asking me to show off something or asking me to show you how to do something, I will respond with normally a short form video. I'll tag you in it and I'll put your comment in that video. We'll still have the community spotlight, but I just wanted to highlight that in this particular video. Right, let's move on to something else for some other reason. And just taking a quick look at the QC, you can actually see, because it sits on these grommets here at the front, let me grab a pointy thing. Because it sits on these grommets here at the front and at the back over at the top there, to actually access the flight controller is super easy. There's no screws needed. These have got holes in them and these just slide into the side. Dead simple, dead straightforward, really nice and easy design to maintain your quad. Right, let's have a look at the quality of it. So taking a look then at the insides of the GEPRC Darkstar16, and we can see this is our ELRS antenna here, and it comes out to the back over here like so, and then through the frame. We can see, if we just slide this over a little bit with this pointy thing, the quality of the solder is without question some of the best we see. GEPRC, along with iFlight, the two marquee brands in FPV, I've never found anything on any of these that ever leads me to be concerned. So this is exactly the same. We can turn this around to the other side, and you can see on the other side, again, we've got the XT30 cable there, lovely solder, we've got a capacitor, we've got motor wires here, really, really good. We've got the motors here, which are 1003s, GEPRC branded, and if we just move them underneath here, you can see nice quality, nice notchiness, really nice. We've got GemFan props, we've got an all-in-one flight controller, so that means that your flight controller, your ELRS and your Betaflight is all on this one board, so that makes life so much easier for you. Apologies for the camera fogging, I'm not sure what is causing that, I'll have to investigate that. And then obviously on top you've got 4 screws for the 04, you've got 2 screws on the side for the 04 camera, and then underneath you've got screws for your batteries, for your motors, etc. Speaking of batteries, this is a TPU print similar to what's on the Flywoos. You all know I don't like them, I'll replace it with a strap. GEPRC, I'd ideally suggest that you don't use this, in my humble opinion. And then obviously you've got the micro USB there, which again I'm not a fan of, I'm not keen of, but it is necessary evil, it seems, with these smaller flight controllers. I think as soon as we can get away from that, probably the better. But it is what it is, and I think we're going out of focus a little bit there. But it is what it is. Everything is super. We've got flathead screws as well in the frames, so none of these screws are protruding out, which is really nice. Countersunk flathead screws here. The motor ones are not, which is a shame really. The XT30 cable built into the actual frame itself, so no loose and dangling wires. You've got your antennas at the back there, as mentioned before. They do come with the full 04 Pro ones if you wanted to replace them, but I've found no problems with them. Okay, let's move on to something else because this camera fogging is really driving me insane. One last point on the QC, we can see here this is sort of a movable camera protector. It just slides up and down depending on how you want it. Nice little feature. Be interesting to see if other manufacturers follow suit because I quite like that. Right, let's go. Well then, what did you think of that? That was a GEPRC Darkstar16 review, and honestly our thoughts on the drone are, I like the way that it's got this sort of stabilized this whole thing here is sort of stabilized, so it does produce really smooth footage even in the extreme. We flew it in 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and GEPRC do sort of say it's more for indoor cruising really and indoor filming than it is for outdoor flying. So obviously naturally we instantly flew it straight away outdoors in crazy winds, which I know for a fact would have made some people over there at GEPRC wince a little bit, but there's no need to because it handled it like an absolute champ. Now the one thing I will say is GEPRC say with a 500 Mark IIs you're going to get about 4 minutes of gentle indoor cruising. If you just fly it really, really gently, you'll get 4 minutes, absolutely. But if you're going to do any tricks and this and that and the other, you're going to look more at around about 3 to 3.5 minutes, which is sort of in line with these smaller quads anyway. So I don't really see it as a massive problem. Like I say, GEPRC will say officially that, you know, in their opinion, it's probably better suited to indoors. I've only flown it outdoors and I haven't actually found a problem with it. On average, I've been hitting 3 minutes flight time, doing some tricks, skimming some trees, etc, 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 and also flying in crazy high winds as well. I've got no doubt indoors is probably where this thing is going to shine, but I prefer to do my reviews in the extreme. So I prefer to do my reviews where things are a little bit more difficult for the drone, where it's easier to sort of find fault and to pick out fault. That's ultimately where we're at with it. Now, if you are somebody that's in the market for one of these, I will leave a link in the description down below. It will be an affiliate link. It won't cost you any extra whatsoever to use it, but it will show GEPRC that we may be worth working with in the future. And I do hear they've got some things that you guys might be interested in. So please, if you are interested, do use that link. However, and not for the shekels that it brings either, purely for the marketing that we can do. However, what I will say, you guys, a lot of you guys have said, or have asked the question, sorry, what's it like versus the sub 250 Dollyfly 16? And because of the weather in the UK, today is the day I'm recording this. The first day I flew it in a torrential storm. The second day it looked sunny, but actually 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after those flights, it was horrendous. And then today it hasn't stopped raining and the roads are flooded. It's horrific outside. So we will bring you a comparison video. That will be a separate video in its own right. So please make sure you are subscribed and all that jazz. And if you've got any other questions whatsoever, please do drop them in the comments down below. But I'm off now to pray the weather stops because I want to fly this some more. This has impressed me a lot. Any questions whatsoever, I'll answer them. As always, peace out.